Hello, hello, and welcome back for yet another episode of RV Life, What I Eat in a Week, brought to you by the Danae Collective. Hi, I'm Danae, and this is episode 24. Pretty much right after I finished editing episode 23, I got it in my head that I wanted something sweet to have as a dessert, and I really didn't feel like having to go back and add this to the episode that I just finished, so it's starting off this episode instead. I am making some oolong tea and a ice cream sandwich using green tea ice cream and some snickerdoodle cookies by Tate's. I also decided that I was kind of in the mood for some dried fruit and some nuts, so I am picking some choice options out of my dried fruit bin, which has dried cherries, bananas, pineapple, craisins, and blueberries in there, and then I'm mixing that with some glazed pecans. Moving on to a new day, guess what? Your girl ordered some mud water. So, because of my whole gut intelligence test saying that I need to cut back on my black tea, I don't like coffee. I've never liked coffee. Like it's just so unappealing to me. And I would ordinarily either drink matcha or a black tea first thing in the morning to help wake myself up. And since I'm supposed to be cutting back on that, I figured why not try those mushroom beverages that I've been seeing a lot about. And the real seller for me for mud water in particular is the fact that it has a masala chai flavor. And I was like, Sold. If you know me, you know I love a chai. Okay, so it's been a hot minute since I've had a masala chai in particular, and this really hit the spot. So it came with a frother. It only cost me like 40 bucks because it was on special. And like I said, it came with this frother, which is, not gonna lie, kind of humongous. It feels like I have a giant thing of mascara that I'm gonna use for some reason. But what I will say is it is a powerful frother. I already have a milk frother. It's smaller, more compact, and it needs batteries. This one is rechargeable and it has an extra coil on it. So that boy's got some strength, okay? With that said, I decided I was going to go ahead and give my little frother a little bit of a charge, heat up some water. I will say my one complaint is that it just says hot water. It doesn't say how hot that water needs to be. Jack is going to knock my camera down in 3, 2, ah! Anyway, all it says is hot water. So I wasn't sure what temperature to go for. I ended up doing a black tea temp, which is like 195, 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And I did that just because I wanted to make sure that it would dissolve the powder. No, it doesn't do that. It's on par with a matcha, right? So if you've ever made matcha yourself, you've done the mixing and whatnot, all of that sediment from the powder will end up at the bottom of your cup, and that is exactly what mud water ends up doing. So you end up with like that really thick film of powder, and it's basically just sediment that settles at the bottom. Now the upside to that is if you have access to hot water on a regular basis, you can drink all the way down to the bottom of that cup and just add more hot water, give it another mix, and you've got brand new cup of mud water ready to go. I've done that with my matcha so many times because I feel like, well, it's still there, it's adding more flavor. After a certain point, it will lose that flavor because it's infused into the water, and then you just dump that out. But I do like the fact that I can get more cups out of one. I will also say this, the recommendation for how much powder to put in the cup is probably a little too much in my opinion. So I've kind of tested that theory over the last couple of days. They suggested, I think it was like a tablespoon for, I don't know if you hear that, Jack is being summoned. The recommendation was like a tablespoon. I thought that was too much. I've narrowed it down to like a teaspoon, and now an even smaller amount because I feel like it's just too much. So anyway, moving on, I am gonna go ahead and make some oven roasted turkey breast. This is bone in. I think it has like some ribs in there and then one thick bone. And if you saw the part at the beginning where I fired up the oven, that is a whole process. I have to sit down, I have to get something that's long enough to reach all the way back to the pilot light, and then all of the heat, as you saw, is just concentrated right down the middle. So I find that to be a little bit of a challenge to work with. With that said, I also don't know how much, how do I say this? I don't know how much gas gets wasted when I use the oven versus when I'm using the stovetop. Okay, so I have these 2 giant propane tanks and whatnot, but like this turkey breast took 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to cook. I might be exaggerating, but it definitely was along the line of 2 hours. And I don't know if that's a lot of gas. I don't know if that's a little gas. I'm still on the first tank. I haven't had to switch over to the second tank yet. Like that one's not empty, but I also don't want to like waste all my gas just to use my oven for 10 minutes, or in this case 2 hours, and then have to refill my tank super fast, you know? So it's kind of a bit of an experiment. The turkey breast turned out really good, wasn't super dry. I decided I wasn't going to use butter. I just did olive oil and a bunch of seasonings. I went with a Parisian spice blend, which is one of my favorites when it comes to like poultry, and I think it turned out really delicious. I served that up with some roasted vegetables and a salad, which you'll see in a little bit. So once my turkey was halfway cooked, I decided I was going to cover it just so it doesn't dry out even further in the oven. I also used that time to kind of like rotate it just so I can make sure that it's getting some even distribution of heat, because again, the flame is literally right down the center of the oven. So while that turkey breast rests, I'm going to go ahead and throw together a salad with some arugula, some mixed greens, some Honeycrisp apple, some green grapes, some pickled red onions. As I've said before, go ahead and make sure you read that ticker that should have passed earlier with the ingredients on it, because I don't remember everything. All I know is I made a delicious salad, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and throw together some roasted vegetables to serve on the side as well. So I really wish I had some mashed potatoes to go with those pieces of turkey breast, but I didn't. So I ended up using what was left of that hummus, spread that across the plate, roasted up my vegetables, served that on top of the hummus, and honestly, everything was delicious. Can't complain. I love this for me. Oh my God. looks like we're at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching another episode of RV Life, What I Eat in a Week, brought to you by the Danae Collective. New episodes release every Sunday and Wednesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get notified of additional content. Have a great day. Bye.